Morning, everyone. This is our next episode of Tiger Eye Talk, and I'm Lisa DeToffel, owner and chief cheerleader at Tiger Eye Solution, an expert virtual assistant business that supports speakers, coaches, and solo professionals. And here today with me, I have Janine Bolon. Oh my goodness, she is amazing. She is an entrepreneur with many traits, many hats, and many things for sure. But today we are going to be talking and chatting with her about her podcast. She is an awesome professional podcaster. We were just chatting briefly before we came live on how long she's been doing this, and she's been doing it a very long time. So, without further ado, I'm going to let her further introduce herself and tell you a little bit more about her and what she does. So, go ahead, Janine.
Oh, Lisa, thanks so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And you and I were talking in the green room about how my whole focus is really helping people, no matter what their corporation is, no matter what their business is, promote themselves well. And there are marketing professionals out there who will do a wonderful job at helping you promote, whether it's your book or an online program or what have you. But when you're ready to move into the podcasting space, I would hope that people would think about me, since I was involved in radio in 1982. And I became what they called an audio blogger in 2002 because they really didn't know what to call us, right? We weren't radio show hosts. We weren't broadcasting on the air. We were just one level above pirates. Remember how they used to have pirate radio stations and all that kind of stuff? And
Yes.
and they were like, well, we weren't pirates because we were part of Blog Talk Radio. So they just didn't know what to call us. So they called us audio bloggers. And
That's
now
awesome.
I have a team of 8. And since 2017, we've been promoting and doing podcasting. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now.
That is amazing. And just from what I've seen and heard, your team is amazing as well with what
Yeah.
they do. So, a little quick question here. What kind of sets you and your team apart? Of course, since 2020, the world kind of has done a whole 360 and things are a little bit different. So, what sets you and your team apart? Of course, you have been doing it long, pre pandemic. But what sets y'all apart, from maybe some others that have started this up since 2020?
I think it's just the broad experience, because if you don't like the way my voice sounds, or you want somebody to co-host with you, I have voiceover talent with people that have been in radio longer than I have, and will be happy to demo for you and audition. The other thing is we help people with audiobooks, and so we do podcasting. That's our primary source of income. But at the same time, we also do audiobooks and other voice talent, just because of the broad experience that my 8 team members have. So it's me and 8 others that are holding you by the hand, so to speak. But what sets us apart, yeah, is all that experience, like you said. However, the primary thing is the fact that we really do know what we're doing, and we have the ability to put you on 42 different internet
Um,
platforms. So it's not just iTunes. We put you on iTunes, Spotify, and what we call tier 1. We put you on tier 1, and there's a whole list. I will not go through it. We put you on tier 2, and then we put you on tier 3. What is tier 3? That's where there are podcasts that are app only based, and we uh, service those as well. And then if you want, we can even get you on radio, because there's an exchange that we have access to where there are 67 radio stations that pull content from that exchange. So just depends on how deep down that rabbit hole do you want to go, Alice, and we will be happy to guide you there.
oh, wow. That is amazing.
Hmm.
Oh, yes. And like I said, a lot of people have got into the podcast world just since the pandemic in 2020. So, yes, that can be so beneficial
Hmm.
to so many business owners and podcasters for sure. So, um, tell me a little bit more maybe about the starting point. If someone's just starting their podcast, the beginning stages, how do you help them through that process?
Well, it depends on who they are. If they're a coach, or whether or not they have a book, or are they a multinational corporation, because we service all those clients. Okay. So if you're an author and you've just written a book, the very first thing we do is we say, does your book have its media kit? And people kind of look at us and go, and I'm like,
What's
yeah,
that?
that's number one. And you can actually take my media kit course, because as a podcaster, if I have a media kit, I can promote you so much better. I can hand the media kit to the team, and off they run with that. If you're a coach or a business owner and you do any kind of podcasting, you're on YouTube channels, you're talking to booktubers, you take your pick. As a business owner, you are reaching out. Even if your business is you're just going out and doing networking, if you have a media kit, life is much easier. And what that is something that somebody in the media, aka me, right? Somebody like me can take your headshot, and we can get all your social media links, and we can make show notes, and we can create biographies. And that's why I have an online course that you can take so that you can figure out what it is you need to build. So whether you're a book or a coach, or you own a corporation that makes yachts. We had a luxury yacht corporation reach out to us, and they wanted to ask if we had any nautical experience. Well, it just so happens there's 2 people on my team that were in the Navy. So we were like, yeah, we can help you. so that's one of the things that we can do. But we also service the small business owner as well, the solopreneur. We'll be glad to help you with that as well. So the starting point, to answer your question, I hope you have a media kit. If you don't, let us give you the free course so that we can get you started on that. That's rule number 1. That's number 1.
Awesome. So just to get to know you a little bit on a deeper level, what a little bit is, tell us a little bit about your background. How long have you been in business?
Okay.
And that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go a little bit further back, just because I was raised as a military dependent. And so I didn't spend most of my time in the United States. My father was in the Navy. And so I'm what they call a brat, which means I traveled around with my dad. And I was in Japan, and I spent time on the islands in Eleuthera in the Bahamas. And so I've been around the world. And so one of the things that I absolutely love about that is I knew I would have to work for myself, just because I saw that there were solutions. There were problems, but I also would always see a solution. I didn't see problems the way I watched other people with that. And so for me, it's like being able to be in podcasting is great, because I'm finally able to share a lot of what I know. And the best thing is then I get to interview amazing people that are way smarter than me. And I can just sit there and be my curious self. And as a kid, I used to get in trouble for always asking why. And now I get paid to
You get
ask
paid to ask
why.
me.
And that's like a dream come true for me. So that's really the best thing I can think of. But I started in radio in 1982, where I was called a DJ back then. I was a DJ for my high school, and I just stayed in the industry since then.
That is amazing. That's an amazing story for sure. So, I mean, you are a true entrepreneur from the get-go.
Right. My first business, I started at 10, and I sold earthworms to bait shops. Yeah, I was that kid.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. That is so amazing. Yes. So, what is the best way? I mean, I know there's probably numerous of platforms that you're out there on, but how, if our listeners and viewers want to get in contact with you and possibly learn more or get that kit, that number 1 step, how can they contact you?
I think the best way is to go on to LinkedIn. If you go to LinkedIn and you type in Janine Bolon, that'll be the easiest way for you to find me. And then I will have a team member that will reach out to you. We watch LinkedIn pretty much every day, and we make sure that we reach out to you. And they'll say, hey, how did you hear about us? Whatever. And if you will just say, hey, I was on Tiger Eye Solutions. I was watching their show, and Janine was on there. I'd like to talk to her. They'll immediately get you set up on my calendar to have a 15-minute Zoom meeting with me. And then you can tell me all about what you want to do and how we can help you out. That's the easiest way to get hold of me.
Guys, y'all definitely want to have a conversation with Janine. Yeah. I promise you will learn something. Whether it's about podcasting or it's about something else, you would definitely learn something. Every conversation I've had with her, I've learned something. She is a great entrepreneur, and as you have learned here today, she has been in the entrepreneur world for quite some time, for sure. Yeah. Janine, if you'd like to share any other maybe upcoming events you may have, please, by all means, share that with our viewers as well.
Okay, well, I think it's important that they understand how you and I met. And that was you and I are both part of a MLM called Send Out Cards, or I think they changed their name recently to Greener Still.
Yes.
But one of the things that I like to share with people is because I've been in business so long, I know the power of doing follow up through cards.
Mhm.
And so when you do get in touch with me, realize either Lisa or I will ask for your address. Why? Because we love sending cards to people we care about. And especially during the pandemic, that was one way we could talk to people and stay socially distanced and stay in touch and that sort of thing. And so that's how Lisa and I came into being together. And it's one of those things that you may be like, well, Janine, I have no interest in that. I don't care about that. Well, that was how Lisa and I met. And so what I encourage you to do is no matter how you choose to move forward with your entrepreneurship, if you're an author or your coaching business or whatever, realize there are people like Lisa and I who have been in the business for decades before the pandemic. We were at home and everybody thought we were crazy people. This is something Lisa and I've talked about. Everybody thought we were crazy people for working from home. And now they're in on our secret, which is
Yep.
you really can have a full life. And so reach out to Lisa or reach out to myself if there's anything that we can do to help you along your business journey. Do not try to solve all these situations by yourself because there's people like she and I who we've been doing this for years. We'll be glad to share with you the shortcuts. So that's what I was doing for Lisa. That's what Lisa does for me. We get on conversations together. Hey, I'm struggling with XYZ. And Lisa goes, oh, I solved that 5 years ago. Here, this is the way you do it. And that way you move forward quicker because we would love that for you because we want you to stay
Absolutely.
successful. We want you to stay profitable.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Janine. That is
Yeah.
powerful right there. And yes, the fortunes in the follow up. Everybody's heard it. And whether it's, you send a card or you do a follow up another way, you definitely want to do that. And do connect if you have questions about any of that. Connect with Janine and I. We'd be happy to answer your questions. So again, I want to thank everybody, and I do apologize for my scratchy throat. Allergy season gets me every year. But again, I want to thank Janine for being here and being my guest today. And do reach out, connect with her on LinkedIn, or you can send me a message and I can put you in contact with Janine as well to get all your questions answered around podcasting or anything else that she can educate you on, because she can educate you on a lot of things, I promise. But again, thank you so much, Janine, for being here with me today and chatting with me in my community. I
It was
really
my
enjoyed
pleasure.
having you.
Thank you very much.
And we will see everyone again next month for our next episode of Tiger Eye Talk. Thank you. Enjoy your day.